Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a trap that so many of us fall into, this constant, paralyzing need for everything to be perfect. We're going to look at a story that really shows why good enough is sometimes the best way to get to great. I mean, we've all been there, right? You tell yourself, okay, I'll start that big project, or I'll finally learn that new thing, or even just, I'll send that important email, but only when the time is just right. The thing is, that perfect moment, it's a total myth. And waiting for it just means, well, we never get started. So, to really get a handle on this, let's dive into a story about a potter. His name is Milo, and he's incredibly talented. I mean, he has all the skill you could ask for. But he's completely trapped by his own super high standards. And believe me, it's costing him big time. Okay, so here you can see two totally different worlds side by side. You've got Milo, the perfectionist. Look at his workshop. It's empty. Why? Because if a pot has even the tiniest little flaw, he smashes it. All he's creating is stress. But then, look over at his neighbor, Leo. He's the pragmatist. His shelves? They're packed. Sure, his pots aren't flawless, but he's actually making things, selling them, and feeding his family. And this right here? This is the real consequence. See, perfectionism isn't just some abstract idea in your head. It has real, tangible results. While Leo is out there thriving, selling his good enough work, Milo is literally hungry, surrounded by nothing but the dust of what could have been. All right, so now the stakes get higher. The king announces a huge royal competition. For Milo, this isn't just a chance to shine. It's the ultimate test of his entire way of thinking, and it pushes his perfectionism into overdrive. What happens next is just this devastating downward spiral. He starts out with the best clay, the best intentions, but his obsession with finding every little flaw just takes over. He restarts and restarts and restarts again. After 4 days, he started over 10 times. So by the night before the contest, he's completely exhausted and has absolutely nothing to present. All that work for nothing. And that's the sound of his whole process. That's the end result. Every tiny bubble, every line that's just a little bit off, it all ends with that smash. It's a sound of potential just being obliterated by the fear of imperfection. And let's be real for a second. This isn't just about making pots, is it? I mean, how many times have you typed out a message or an email trying to get it to sound just right, smart enough, and then you just delete the whole thing? That's Milo's struggle, right there in our everyday lives. We're killing our own ideas because we're terrified they won't be flawless. So just as Milo hits rock bottom, sitting there completely defeated in his workshop, a wise, visiting master craftsman named Elias shows up. Elias takes one look at all the broken clay, he sees the despair in Milo's eyes, and he offers him a piece of wisdom that is about to change, well, everything. And this first piece of advice is just a complete game changer. He tells Milo, you are trying to be a god, not a potter. He points out that nature itself is imperfect, right? A tree isn't perfectly symmetrical. A river doesn't flow in a perfect straight line. The goal isn't to be some perfect god. It's to be a human, making human things. And that leads to this incredibly simple but powerful truth. Think about it. No matter how amazing your idea for a pot is, if you never actually finish it, it's completely useless. I mean, it can't hold water, right? Its whole purpose is gone. The value is in finishing it, not just intending for it to be perfect. And this really brings it all home. Real value only gets created when we actually put our work out into the world. A brilliant idea that just stays stuck in your head, it helps absolutely no one. It's just trapped, waiting for this perfect moment that's never going to show up. So what Elias does is he completely flips the meaning of the word flaw. He says it's not a mistake to be afraid of. A flaw is a sign of humanity. It's the mark of life, of a real person's hand at work. Those little imperfections, that's where the soul is. That's what gives something character. You're supposed to embrace it, not get rid of it. And you know what? This complete shift in how he sees things, it leads to a massive breakthrough for Milo. He finally lets go of that need to control everything, to make it all flawless. And in doing so, he finds this whole new way of creating that's just so much more freeing. So how did he actually do it? Well, first, he just stopped judging himself. He closed his eyes and just felt the clay, letting his hands do the work. Second, he made a bowl. And yeah, it was a little lopsided. But instead of smashing it, he accepted it. He saw its unique character. And third, and most importantly, he finished it. He finally got it. A real, finished pot is way more valuable than some perfect idea that never gets made. Okay, so the results of the competition are really interesting. And here's the thing. Milo doesn't win the grand prize. Nope, that goes to Leo, who gets rewarded for being so consistent and dependable. But Milo finds a totally different kind of success. The king himself buys that imperfect bowl. And even better, Milo's shop starts filling up with finished pots. He finally found his rhythm. And what the king says just proves the whole point. He says the bowl feels warm, like it was made by a human hand, not a machine. That flaw, the very thing Milo would have destroyed just days before, that's exactly what the king loved about it. It's what made it feel real. So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. A broken sentence says more than a perfect silence. A flawed attempt is always better than a perfect idea that never happens. Shipping that product, sending that email, finishing that pot. Even if it's not perfect, that's how we make progress. So I want to leave you with this question. What masterpiece, what great idea are you preventing from existing because you're waiting for it to be perfect? Maybe it's time to let it be a little bit flawed, and in doing so, finally let it become real.